and Drumgora and News King dispute the lead as they come to the first of the 12 fences. Drumgora, in fact, the former winner, going clear at the first, jumps it a little bit left-handed. News King jumps at second, then Artifice and Badsworth Boy and Rathgorman and the Mighty Mac, and they're going a real good clip coming down to the second. Drumgora well clear of News King, Artifice, Badsworth Boy and Rathgorman and the Mighty Mac. Quite a long run to the third. Drumgora from News King, Artifice, Badsworth Boy, Rathgorman and the Mighty Mac. Drumgora and Frank Berry setting a real good gallop from News King, Artifice and Badsworth Boy. Jumps it very big and bold, the leader. They're racing uphill now to the fourth. Drumgora clear of Artifice, now gone second. The News King on the inside of Badsworth Boy, and the Mighty Mac and Rathgorman matching strides. The fourth, Drumgora. Just pitches a little on landing there. Doesn't lose any impetus. Drumgora goes on still from Artifice, Badsworth Boy on the outside of News King, then Rathgorman, last year's winner, and the Mighty Mac. Number 5. Drumgora, Artifice, Badsworth Boy, News King. News King just pecked a little bit there. Rathgorman and the Mighty Mac, and this is the water. Number 6. Drumgora from Badsworth Boy, News King and Artifice. Rathgorman and the Mighty Mac. And now the first of the two ditches, or the regulation as they call it in Ireland. Badsworth Boy going up on the outside of Drumgora, a little between the two there. And then Artifice, News King, Rathgorman and the Mighty Mac. Another plain one before the final ditch, number 8. Badsworth Boy lands in the lead from Drumgora, Artifice, News King, Rathgorman and the Mighty Mac. And News King getting a reminder there from John Frankham. They come to the final ditch. Badsworth Boy jumps it clear. Rathgorman, a good jump on the outside of News King and Artifice. Drumgora's lost his place altogether. The Mighty Mac is tailed off and looks as though he may be pulled up. And now they've got 3 fences left to jump in the Queen Mother Champion chase. And it's Badsworth Boy clear of News King and Rathgorman, then Artifice and Drumgora. And the race now with a Michael Dickinson 1-2 look about it as Badsworth Boy comes to the third last from Rathgorman and News King. Badsworth Boy jumps it clear of News King and Rathgorman. Coming to the second last now. And Robert Earnshaw looks over his right shoulder, sees very little danger barring an accident. Badsworth Boy. Oh, he's made a bad mistake there. He got away with it. News King jumped in second. He made a bad mistake too. Rathgorman takes the initiative from News King. Artifice is fourth and fifth is Drumgora. But Badsworth Boy coming to the final fence now in the Queen Mother Champion chase and looking as though he only has to jump it to win it. In second is Rathgorman, then News King and Artifice coming to the final fence now. Badsworth Boy, ears pricked, measures it carefully, gets away from it well. A cheer from the crowd. It's going to be very close for second indeed. Rathgorman jumps it second, but Artifice finishing well on the near side. News King on the far side. Rathgorman loses his place as Badsworth Boy strides up to the line to win the Queen Mother Champion chase in great style. Artifice, one of the old men of the party, in fact the old man, a 12-year-old, runs on gallantly to be second. Artifice is second and News King is third. And Drumgora gets up to relegate Rathgorman, last year's winner, to fifth, with the Mighty Mac finishing a long way behind the remainder. And so the official result: first, number 2, Badsworth Boy, owned by Mr. D.H. Armitage, trained by Michael Dickinson and ridden by Robert Earnshaw. Second was number 1, Artifice, owned by Mr. Paul K. Barber and Mr. John Thorne, trained by John Thorne and ridden by Peter Scudamore. And third was number 8, News King, owned by Mr. Terry Foreman and Mr. W.S.H. Bushiel, trained by Fred Winter and written by John Frankham. Fourth was number 5, Drumgora. This is the winner. Here's how he won it as we review it with Richard Bittman.
And as they came to the second last, this was the only moment of doubt for Badsworth Boy regarding his jumping. He's pricking his ears, cocking his head and looking almost at the people. He gets low. Robert Earnshaw gives him a reef on the reins, gathers him quickly, and behind him you can see John Frankham News King also making a mistake, but John doesn't get shifted from a mistake like that. And on his outside, Rath Gorman, who had been in trouble from the top of the hill and was never looking as if he was going to get back at his stable companion. He's definitely not his true form. Coming round the last bend, Robert Earnshaw has had a look. He knows there is no danger except that last fence. Having just made a mistake, he wasn't going to ask this horse for a great big leap at the last. But look, that must be 20 lengths between them. Just one fence now. What's he going to do, Badsworth? He shortens nicely and jumped as he had throughout the race, except for the second last. Robert Earnshaw secure now in the fact that he's no more fences, going to last. 3 of them in line for second. Rath Gorman weakening. In fact, even Drumgora goes on to pass him, so obviously he's not right. But Artifice running on nicely at the end of a race, all very tired. They'd gone a fair gallop throughout the race, and that ensured that when they finished, they were all going rather backwards at the end. So a good winner there, Badsworth Boy, the second of the day for Michael Dickinson.
Badsworth Boy, the 2-to-1 second favourite, having maintained his fine sequence this season, unbeaten now in 5 runs. So number 2 for Michael Dickinson. And the Ritz Club charity trophy is still wide open, with no rider having scored more than once. The scorers so far at the 1983 festival: Mr. Colin Magnier, Tommy Carmody, Richard Lindley, Joe Byrne, Alan Brown, Tommy Dunn, and today 2 of the Dickinson riders, Graham Bradley and Robert Earnshaw. Out of a Falcon mare, Falcon, himself a sprinter, the sire of the great night nurse. The safe bet that Artifice, the old man there of the field, will have pleased his connections by his second spot in the Queen Mother Champion Chase as much as the winner will have delighted his.
On the distances are a distance and 6 lengths. A distance and 6 lengths.
And the official margin there, a distance and 6 lengths. So the judge estimated that Badsworth Boy defeated his field by 30 lengths or more.
We have the starting prices for the second race, the Queen Mother Champion Stable Chase. First number 2 Badsworth Boy at 2-to-1. Second number 1 Artifice at 9-to-1. Third number 8 News King at 5-to-1. Number 9 Rath Gorman was the 15 to
And the tide having turned for Michael Dickinson following a very disappointing start. See him represented in the next, the Coral Golden Hurdle Final by Brunton Park, the likely favourite, who will give Graham Bradley the opportunity to go ahead in the Ritz Club Charity Trophy. Meanwhile, here now the starting prices on the Queen Mother Champion Chase.
First number 2, Badsworth Boy, 2-to-1. Second number 1, Artifice, 9-to-1. And third number 8, News King, 5-to-1. First Badsworth Boy, 2-to-1. Second Artifice, 9-to-1. And third News King, 5-to-1. 6 ran. The jackpot number there was 202.